Hey, Reddit! It's Michael from the YouTube channel Vsauce. Last night I did an AMA. I want to thank everyone who showed up to ask questions. It was great. But I'm doing this video so I can focus on my 5 favorite questions and go into a bit more detail verbally. Okay, first of all, I loved being asked, what is your least favorite video? First of all my videos are my favorite. But yes, some have more favorite and some have less favorite. I would say, as I said last night, Mario Farts is my least favorite, but I still treasure it. It's totally off-brand. It's unbelievable to many people who stumble upon it now that it's on the Vsauce channel. But back when I made it, Vsauce was about video game comedy and whatever Michael could throw together.
I smell so bad, it kills all the bad guys, but I cannot stop running.
It's pretty immature, it's pretty goofy, but at the same time, it's a sign of, you know, where the roots of Vsauce lie. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's not kind of funny to me. I love it like I love a child. I love it like I would love my own child that farted a bunch. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not gonna say I hate anything I've ever made, but I will say this, my mother is much more proud of what I do now than all of the fart joke videos I did in the past. Question number 2, how much work goes into making a Vsauce video? This changes all the time. I don't log the number of hours I spend doing things, and in all honesty, I don't really ever stop working on an episode. I'm always thinking about it or telling people what I've been reading and researching to see how they respond, to see if I'm, going in the right direction, if my reasoning makes sense. But in general, it takes maybe 5 to 7 days to do the research and writing. A lot of that happens simultaneously. I'll be reading and I'll go, oh yes, perfect. I need to remember that, and I'll type it up and I'll type it into the basic language of what I'll say later on. 5 to 7 days for that. And then about 1 to 2 days for the production and editing, all right? For about 2 of those 5 to 7 days, while I'm researching and writing, I don't do anything but work on the episode. I don't do anything socially, I don't talk to anyone on the phone. I might sneak a break and watch a little bit of television, but that's about it. I am just like in this zone of, okay, how can I truly answer the question I want to make the title of this video, and how many different ways can I take it so that I cover all the cool things I've uncovered so far in my research? When I actually shoot the episodes, I probably do an average of 3 takes every single time, but there's no teleprompter and I haven't memorized a script. Oh, hey look, a piece of evidence. Here's a script. This is the script for Our Narrow Slice. And I print it out so I can hold it in my hands or put it on a chair next to me while I film. And I have written a word, I've written like a verbatim, and it's not verbatim, I've written a complete script so that I know that every idea can go into every idea. I'm covering everything I want to, and I know how to say it. But I don't say it exactly like this. What I do is I take the script, print it out, and then I put little brackets or I highlight the sections where I know my face is going to be on camera. These are sections that I have to be able to do while staring down the barrel of the camera lens. So I'll look at this, I'll kind of get the gist of it, I'll rehearse it a few times, and I'll just go. And then for a part that's not in the brackets, I know that there's gonna be an image, like an image of the pyramids and an image of a woolly mammoth. Perfect. So literally for that kind of stuff, I just hold the script right here and I go, the pyramids were as old to the ancient Romans as the ancient Romans are to us today, blah, blah, blah. And I just read it right off the page. Not an electronic teleprompter though, a piece of paper. I also make a lot of changes as I go through and read the whole thing, and I realize, I need to kind of clarify this, and I'll write those notes in during the actual shooting process. Moving right along, my 3rd favorite question was about Kevin from Vsauce 2 and Jake from Vsauce 3. These guys run those channels phenomenally well. I'm so lucky to have found them. I found Kevin because I was a fan of his personal channel, /Kevin Lieber. He did a lot of ridiculously hilarious stuff. He did amazing rap parodies, but he also played a character named Julius Bloop. And one of the things Mr. Bloop did was review video games poorly. And because Vsauce began as a comedy, video game comedy channel, I asked him, could we get Julius Bloop on Vsauce? Thing is, as Vsauce evolved and I realized that I was not good at video games and I was much better at just being curious and getting people excited about ideas that I'd recently heard, Kevin got that immediately as well. And it became clear that he knew what made a video Vsauce-y and should just take on his own channel. Jake from Vsauce 3. Great guy. I met Jake in New York City. He worked out of the YouTube space in New York, helping people with production, with equipment, and he was brilliant and is brilliant with editing and camera work. I think he actually owns a Red camera now. So we got along really well. We joked around all day, and I said, dude, could you help me edit an episode of Dong, Things to Do Online Now, guys? And he did a great job with it, but it was like immediately clear that he was deserving of his own channel. He had a lot of ideas. And one thing that Vsauce wasn't doing before he came along was discussing the science behind fictional things, lightsabers and Superman and stuff that Vsauce viewers were asking about all the time. So Vsauce 3 was born. Super cool. All right, we have two more questions I want to talk about, and one of them is, what's a fact that you know, that you've learned, that continues to surprise you? And my answer was, first of all, the fact that as far as we've estimated, and a lot of experts are pretty sure of this, half of all humans who have ever existed died from malaria. And speaking of dead people, there are 7 billion people alive on Earth right now, approximately, but there are 93 billion human skeletons underneath you right now. 93 billion people have lived and died right here on this planet. Pretty weird. All right, finally, I had a lot of fun finally sharing with the world what subreddits I subscribe to and really like. Whoa Dude, illusion porn. It's not as dirty as it sounds. Information is beautiful, internet is beautiful, or data is beautiful. You know what? Let me just show you which ones I'm currently subscribed to. This is not a complete list of the subreddits that I love. It's just the ones that I have been returning to so often I said, all right, I'm gonna, actually subscribe. Finally, as a bonus, I totally forgot that I had these pictures, but the AMA last night gave me a chance to share the guy who inspired me to communicate things about the world that got me excited and my enthusiasm for them. Paul Zaloom, who played Beakman on Beakman's World. Yeah, in fact, I loved Beakman so much as a kid, I dressed up like him for Halloween. That's my sister next to me. And I was also lucky enough to actually meet him. Totally cool. Also, the name Vsauce doesn't mean anything. The V doesn't stand for anything. The name simply came from fakenamegenerator.com. I hit refresh until under website it said vsauce.com. There was an available domain and I said, that's cool, the name can mean anything. Whatever I decide I want to do on this channel, it'll fit because the word doesn't mean anything, and that's how Vsauce came to be. Thank you very much, all of you out there who have made it possible for me to do this, and thanks to those of you who joined the AMA yesterday. You can always ask me more questions on Twitter. I am @TweetSauce. And as always, thanks for watching. By the way, I taught myself how to raise eyebrows. Or I didn't teach myself, I exercised. I wasn't born being able to do this. When I was in high school, I wanted to be more funny, so I would sit in front of a mirror and hold one eyebrow down and then raise both of them. And for some reason, it actually strengthened them disproportionately, and I learned which muscles did what, and now I do this all the time. So, bye.